Well, hey, everybody. It's your girl, Deborah Franklin. Welcome to Women's History Month. Y'all, we are making history this month because I know you have been, I know. I'm trying to tell you, if this is the first episode you see, I say this, you probably know, if you, I don't care if you've seen a couple of episodes, you know, I keep telling everybody, this is the first one, the last one, the second one, I don't care what you're doing. I know if you have not already, you better go get your pen and your paper and get ready for some knowledge to be dropped. Because when I tell you these ladies that I have been interviewing have been dropping nuggets every time. So if you've seen any episodes, whether this is your first one, your second one, or your last one, or even if you're catching, well, that means you're catching the replay. So I want you to sit back, have some fun, enjoy. If you got any questions, if you want to contact anybody, make sure you could direct message me. You could drop messages below. We will get back to you. So without further, hey, I can't take no more time because the person that we interviewing today is somebody that if I didn't have in my life, my world would not move. And I'm just trying to tell you, when I tell you this is the person that will fuss at me, darn near cuss me out. Yeah, I said it. I said it because I'm good at jacking some stuff up behind the scenes. Y'all just don't even know. So I'm getting ready to bring up my girl, none other than I call her the editor on top of editor, the editor in chief, the editor in large. Man, let me tell you, if you need an editor, oh, let me stop talking. Let me just stop talking and bring up my girl. What's up, JC?
What's up, girl? What's going on?
Hey!
Yay! You so
Well, it's
crazy.
such an honor to have you joining me because a lot of times people, they think about, well, if you're friends with somebody, how you going to interview them? Or if you're friends with them, do you really promote their businesses? And I have to say, yes, I promote everybody I work with. I have no problem with sharing what they do because 9 times out of 10, I know how they do it and I know who to send them to. And I know that you can trust the people that I send your way. So, without further ado, I want you to introduce yourself to the people, tell them what you do and why you do it.
Yes, ma'am. I am indeed C Gardner, and I am an award-winning author, a ghostwriter, a writing coach, a poet, and a speaker. And I am all about that literary space. I am owner-operator of Blossom Literary Service, serving all of your literary needs, bringing all of your literary visions to life. And what does that mean? That means if you have a book to put out, I got you. You need a book to be edited, I got you. You need some blog posts, newsletter about writing workshops just for introductory people, for people to know how to start to write their book, and scene development, character development, anything dealing with the literary space. That is my passion. I am driven by it. So by day, I'm a manager at an international faith-based nonprofit, and by candlelight, I write. So that's what I do.
Oh, I like that by candlelight. All right. That sounds so sultry.
By candlelight.
Hey. Y'all know she left
And
out a
Deborah,
whole lot.
thank you. Thank you so much. Let me tell you this. Let me thank you so much for having me on here today. I greatly appreciate you, even the introduction that you gave. And if you all have not met her in person or virtually, you are missing out on a lot in your life. This is a woman who truly cares about her clients, her customer base, and she also I'm promoting her that right now because she promotes everybody. She lets everybody come on her platform. She lets everybody pretty much come into her circle and her space. And she's selfless and she asks for very little. Trust me when I say that. She's a true woman of God, a true servant of the Most High. And she goes above and beyond to help you out. So I have to give her flowers while she's here. I have to promote my sister Deborah. I have to say that, she's putting me out here. Yes, we do work behind the scenes together on a lot of different things, actually. But, everything that she does, everything to God in decency and glory. And my girl keeps it real. And that's someone you really need in your life and in your corner. Because I wouldn't be advanced to where I am today, honestly, without her
Oh,
wisdom,
thank you.
knowledge, and the way that she upholds and nurtures people in her circle. So yes, I'm putting her on blast right now. And I just want you all to know that about this sister, this daughter of the Most High. And now we can proceed with the interview because I'm old and I can, pull age and rank. That's why I did that.
And she did. And she done took me off. She done took me off my game. So, oh my God, thank you so much. And y'all, I promise I ain't pay her to do that because right now my finances ain't said I can't hook nothing up right now. Because I'm waiting for that eagle to land, baby. Waiting for that eagle to land. You said so many things, and thank you for all of those accolades because it's a lot of times people don't realize how much work goes into doing what we do and looking at from different perspectives and different avenues. Now, you said something that was really key to me is that you are an editor. But one thing that I want you to talk about is that you aren't just an editor. You really okay, let me explain to y'all. There are editors and then there are editors. Because a regular editor, because most of the time if you don't read that fine print, all they giving you is words spelled properly, sentence structure, and maybe grammar. Maybe. So explain to them what should you look for in a good editor, or in other
Mhm.
words, your services and how you edit that makes you stand alone. Because at the end of the day, once you edit, I always feel like that their books will blossom, ergo blossom literary services. So what does that look like with a good editor?
Yeah, so like Deborah just alluded to, there are many different types of editors, and there are editors that literally will just look for your grammar and your sentence structure and your spelling and give you your book back, and your book may still be a hot mess. Yes, I said it, a hot mess, because you think that just getting spelling corrected and making sure that the sentences have the right syntax, that's it, it's done. No, no, no. Let me explain. Let me explain. So I am what I consider, and it just dropped in my spirit just now. Thank you, Deborah. I am a holistic editor. Thank you, Jesus. I'm a holistic editor. I'm the person that looks at your story from beginning, middle, and end. I'm the one that makes sure it hangs together, that it makes sense, that your storyline, your content, and your characters are fully developed. I'm also making sure that it's a quality product and that it's representing you on an A plus gold level. I'm gonna say it again, A plus gold level. Because whatever you put forth in the literary space, don't y'all know that's like forever? Forever, ever, forever, ever. It's forever. Even though people can delete and take down, people still have that product on their shelf. So you might be like, no, I took that down. Yes, but somebody bought it when it first arrived. Even if you gave some to grandmama and them, okay, they still have a copy of it. So the written word is forever, forever, ever. And I want to make sure that your forever looks pristine as it can be. It's painful, it's time consuming, and it also takes a lot of energy. But at the end of the day, when someone picks up your book and reads it, or your article, or your blog post, or your newsletter, right? I want them to say, wow, this was well done. And that is the bottom line for me as someone who works with you in partnership on your literary project.
Now, you also said something, being a holistic editor. Do a lot of authors understand that? Because I'm getting ready to use a project that we're working on right now. Um, not that we not throwing shade because we just finished one and we're working on another. So I want to be real transparent. In my services, I do offer every now and then I'll call and I'm like, look, I got a project, but we need to do this pro bono. What does look like? When I tell you we got two that I was like, Lord Jesus. I started to tell them, look, when we finish this, the first 20 books, the profits go to us. They ain't going nowhere else. But What is the biggest challenge, especially when we work with people that have a story to tell and they feel like they have done it, they have killed it, they think they have knocked it out the box, but then when we get it, it turns into something else.
Correct.
How do we, what is that challenge for that person? And okay, so I'm gonna say this too, for those of you that are budding authors, don't think that your story does not need to be told. It does, but you can't hold on to it so deep and so tight that you're not open to edit. So how do you deal with that situation, or something that's so long and then we have to try to help them to shrink it to make it, you can, it can sell, because let's think about it. Roots had what, 9 million pages in it and it still sold. But at the end of the day, who really read all of it? You know, we was glad to get the movie. Because when I saw the book, I was like, Jesus be a whole film. Because technically that should have been 2 or maybe 3 volumes, but that's a whole different story. And Alex Haley did what he wanted to do, and you know that's late. That's a long time ago. But we're talking about now. So how do we help those clients that need to, let's say, shrinking what they have and to be able to let go some of those things in order to make it a doable project, number one, and also a profitable project?
That was a whole lot up in that buffet, Deborah. The first thing when you all come, first of all, oh my God, Deborah, this might be a whole masterclass, honestly, because really, I used to think that way too. I'm gonna put forth a 400, 500, 600 page book, because I got so much to say, y'all. I got so much I got to tell. There's so much that happened in this story. But see, my mind at that point was young, right? But now that it has matured, I needed to monetize all that I had to tell. Think about it. If you got five, six, 700 pages of data, of content, of good, relatable, quality content, that's at least 3 books, y'all. Did you hear me? That's 3 books that you can make, 3 books that you can monetize, 3 books that you could promote, have PR for, have accompanying workbooks and bookmarks and all kind of classes and talks. That's 3 books. So while we have so much to share and so much to tell and so much to get out, yes, yes, like Deborah said, we're not saying not to put it out there, but think smart about it. Not only that, in today's digital age, shoot, we'd be lucky if we can get somebody to read 50 pages. Never mind 200. While 200 is a nice hefty book these days, right? Think about your audience. Think about how fast time is moving. People are now just want to be able to pick up something, get through it, feel accomplished. Even some people, chapters go on and on and on. No, we got to break that up, break it up in digestible chunks so that people can feel like they're moving forward in the book. They feel like they're getting somewhere and they're just not stuck and stagnant in that same chapter. And I'm gonna try to address the other thing that she brought up about when people come to us and they're like, Uncle Louie read this book and he fixed everything in it, and he worked at the school and he worked at the church and he is a really good guy. Okay, that's fantastic. I know Uncle Louie is. I know he's all that in a bag of chips, right? But there's still some things a professional looks at that Uncle Louie may miss. We love Uncle Louie, right? Because we always going to need that person that reads our work and is like, yes, you got this. This is fantastic. We need those cheerleaders. But then when you have a professional look at it, you want them to give you strong critique, knowing that it is in love and that no matter what, it's always helping you put your best foot forward at all times. So just come with the open mind, like Deborah said. It's not like you're coming and being like, well, dang, she just ripped my stuff apart. She just tore it all apart. Actually, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is laying over, if you want to look at it, I'm overlaying what is considered to be like a professional look, a professional feel, a quality fabric, if you will, so that when it's finished, once again, You have an A+ project that you could be proud of. Trust and believe. And if you ever want to enter your work into any type of contest, right? Any type of award show, things of that nature, think of all the people that's going to be reading your book. Think of that. And what are they going to look for? Okay. You want them to be able to see that, wow, this person invested. I'm gonna use that term, invested in their product, and it shows. We could go on and on this one, girl.
Absolutely. And when you say masterclass, trust me,
Trust
I'm almost
me.
to the point that I really am seriously thinking about having a course or a workshop of, the checklist before you even think about writing a book, what to expect, like having us come in and just talk, because it's like so many people have these great ideas. They got these great books, or my new favorite one, somebody has showed me, yeah, I got all these tablets in my book. I done wrote it out by hand. Baby, who gonna type that? I'm not. You might, we got tips that can help you get from point A to point B real quick, but you got to be willing to follow the tips. And so, it's like, it's just being in this literary space is so huge, it's so big, but it's necessary. And we both say some of the same things. So, how important is it for someone to tell their story?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this is twofold. Everything is not for everybody, right? Sometimes just putting your story on paper, putting pen to paper is enough for you to feel that release and that accomplishment. And maybe it's not for even to be shared. A lot of people do this through journaling as well. And then some people publish their journals, but some people don't, because the whole idea was that you told you in that intimate space was able to tell your story just between you, the pages, and God. Right? I'm a woman of faith. That's how I talk, y'all. But when you tell your story like that, that's one way of telling your story where you've gotten out everything that has been on your mind and on your heart. And now that it's on paper, you feel good and you're able to move on. The other way, what Deborah's probably more referring to, is your story, as they say in these streets. Your story is really not for you. It is for you in the sense that you were able to release it, but your story is going to bless and help someone else. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they always think to me negatively, meaning, oh, I went through all of this heartache and trials and tribulations, and now I've made it through. And yes, that is going to bless somebody else. But what about the successful entrepreneur? What about the person that was able to overcome and actually create something fabulous? How did you create that fabulousness? Don't you want to share that? So each one teach one, each one reach one, help someone else to come up, right? So there's other stories out there where you can show positivity all throughout. How did you start your business? How did you become an investor? How did you, become, do other things? How did you make your business work? Maybe your catering business or something like that. That's a positive spin on your life. It's not always death, doom, and destruction, as I like to say, although many of us have gone through death, doom, and destruction. But whatever story you tell, just realize not only is it in freeing you, but it's impacting others. And other people need to see and hear your voice. A lot of people out here, especially today, they feel like they're alone. They're the
Mhm.
only ones going through. No one has been in this situation like they have been in. But once they see you, as they say, we don't look like what we've been through, right? And once we see you and your voice, the way you tell it, that's the other thing. The way you tell it is not going to be like the way anyone else tells it. And your voice might reach that person that's up there in the balcony. So make sure it's what you're supposed to do. Discern. Like I said, all stories not meant to be put out there, okay? Because whatever you put out, remember I said earlier, it's forever and ever. And you have to be comfortable enough to own it as well.
That's amazing because you know what? We can sit here and go on and on and on. Y'all just don't know. This is our topic. We can talk about this all day
All
long
day.
and drop some things for you. And I'm hoping that these things are registering true to you because so many of us have gone through so many things and we don't even realize that we're winning until we hear somebody else's story. And then we're like, oh my God, I'm ahead of the game and didn't even know it. Now that's one of my
Yes.
favorites. Is when I realize I'm ahead of the game, and I'm like, yes.
Mm,
Okay, so we have definitely been on here too long already because that's how we do. I got one last question for you, and I already
yes, ma'am.
know you. I know you're gonna have a plethora of knowledge for this because as we are in this Women's History season, and because we are connected through Church Girl CEO, my final question is: when you hear Church Girl CEO, what does that mean to
Mm,
you?
oh, child. Church Girl CEO means we are daughters of the Most High. That's the first thing that it means to me. We are also mothers, wives, teachers, nurses, pastors, entrepreneurs. We are like the I don't want to say the ultimate. That's kind of strong, right? That's like very egotistical, and I'm not an egotistical person, but I feel like church girl CEOs are the ultimate in the space that they operate in because we come with a spirit of excellence. Because we all know that all the work that we're doing is unto God's glory. Because we know at the end of the day that He is looking at us, but He's also leading us and guiding us and instilling in us and helping us, achieve that next level living, get to that next plateau where He has us, where He really wants us to be. So I'm hoping that our lights also as church girl CEOs, I hope that our light continually shines through in the spaces that we're in. And I'm gonna add this real quick. That doesn't mean we're not going through. That doesn't mean we don't have heartache or headache. That doesn't mean that we're always healthy 100% of the time. That's not what it means. But we are women of faith. We are people of faith, and we trust and believe that if God can make man walk on water, what will He do for you?
Wow, I love it. Y'all know how we do. I'm so excited. Thank you, JC,
Thank
for
you.
coming on. Woo! For coming on and joining us through this Women's History Month. And y'all, make sure you keep tuning in because I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Well, that's it for us today. I love you to life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a good one. Peace.